the echoes beneath Elder Hollow. The wind outside howled like a mourning widow, and the trees clawed at the windows like desperate fingers trying to get in. The fire crackled in the stone hearth, casting long shadows across the room. The old grandfather sat in his creaky wooden chair, wrapped in a wool blanket, a mug of tea trembling slightly in his veined hands. His 3 grandchildren, Emily, Jack, and little Nora, sat cross-legged on the rug, wide-eyed, their faces lit by the flickering flames. "You want a story, do you?" The old man rasped, a twinkle of mischief and something darker in his eye. "All right, but I warn you, this ain't a fairy tale. It's about something that happened long ago in a place not too far from here, a place called Elder Hollow." The children leaned closer. It was the fall of 1962. I was just about your age, Jack. My family had just moved into a crooked little farmhouse nestled at the edge of Elder Hollow, a forgotten pocket of the countryside where time seemed to sleep. The house was old, so old the floorboards moaned in their sleep and the walls whispered at night. My father had taken a job as caretaker for the adjacent lands, and my mother was eager to escape the noise of the city. From the first day, something felt off, not just the house, but the land itself, like it was watching. The air smelled different in Elder Hollows, damp earth and something faintly metallic. Even the birds sang off-key. The locals were quiet folks, polite but distant. There was one man, though, Mr. Bellamy, who ran the dusty general store. He was ancient even then, and when he saw us, he muttered something like, "Hollow remembers." My father laughed it off, but I didn't. The well stood at the back of our property, surrounded by a rusted iron fence and choked by brambles. We were told not to go near it. Naturally, I did. One morning, while playing alone, I heard it, a voice, faint, echoing up from the depths. "Help me." I froze. I leaned closer, heart pounding. "Please, it's so cold." I ran back to the house, breathless. My mother said it was just the wind. My father nailed shut the gate to the well the next day. That night, I heard scratching at the back door. When I peered out, the gate was open. The whispers began in the 3rd week. At first, they were muffled, like someone talking behind a closed door, but they grew louder. I'd wake up with words echoing in my head, words I didn't understand. The hollow drinks the soul. The root remembers. One morning, we found my little sister Leela standing barefoot in the yard, staring at the trees. Her eyes were glassy. When we asked what she was doing, she whispered, "Talking to the bone, children." We thought she was dreaming, until we found the small footprints in the mud, too small for any child we knew. Near the heart of the hollow stood a gnarled tree, twisted like it had grown in pain. Locals called it the bone tree. No birds nested in it. No animals came near, and beneath it, the ground was always damp. Leela began drawing it in her notebooks, always with faces hidden in the bark, mouths open in silent screams. One day, I followed her into the woods. She walked like in a trance. When she stopped before the bone tree, she pressed her palm to the trunk and whispered, "I hear them singing." I pulled her away. That night, the tree appeared in my dreams. Except it wasn't a tree, it was a mouth, and it was opening. Mr. Bellamy finally spoke. He came to our door one stormy night, clutching a journal wrapped in oilskin. "You need to leave," he croaked. "The hollow wakes." He told us about the settlers who first came, who built the well not to drink from, but to bury something, something that listened, that learned, that needed worship. "The hollow is a memory," he said, "and you're feeding it." My father slammed the door in his face. But I read the journal. It spoke of rituals, of offerings, of a child who vanished in 1883, only to return 20 years later, unchanged, and smiling. Leela grew pale, her eyes darkened. She stopped eating. The house grew colder, even as the fire burned. Then came the night of the screaming. We found her standing at the well, the gate torn off, her nightgown soaked. She looked up at us and said, He's awake now. My father tried to grab her. She shrieked, not like a child, but like 100 voices echoing at once. Something reached from the well. Something pale and boneless. We fled the house that night, leaving everything behind. You can leave Elder Hollow, but it never leaves you. Years passed. I grew up, moved away, started a family. But some nights, I hear the whispers. Sometimes, I wake to find dirt under my fingernails. And once, just once, I saw Leela, standing outside my window, looking just the same as she did that night, unchanged, smiling. 3 years ago, I received a letter, no return address. The handwriting, Leela's, it read only, "Come back. He remembers you." I burned it. But the dreams came stronger. The bone tree, the well, Bellamy's face, bloated and screaming. Last winter, I returned. Elder Hollow was empty. The farmhouse was in ruins, the well sealed with rusted chains. But I knew he wasn't gone, just sleeping. And when I touched the bone tree again, it pulsed. Like a heartbeat, I dug. Something inside me, maybe him, guided my hands. Through frozen soil, stone, and bones. At last, I uncovered a chamber beneath the tree. Carvings lined the walls. Not in any language I knew, but I understood them. Sacrifice, memory, consumption. A cradle of roots held a bundle wrapped in cloth. Inside, a child's skull. Leela's, I don't know. When I touched it, my vision bled black. I saw the hollow being born, not grown, but birthed, from a woman with hollow eyes and roots for limbs. She looked at me and whispered, "You are mine." I fled, but something followed me back. A hunger. My sleep turned to blackness. My reflection began to smile when I wasn't. That's why I came here. Why I asked to stay. Why I wanted to see you again. I'm sorry. I love you all very much. But he needs new names to remember. And he is always hungry. The fire crackled. The grandfather leaned back in his chair, eyes distant. The children were silent, pale. Little Nora clutched her blanket. "Is it real, Grandpa?" He smiled softly, sadly. And in the quiet, a wind rose. From outside, a faint voice, "Help me. It's so cold." The old man's hand trembled. "Stay away from the well," he whispered. But none of them had mentioned a well. And there was no well on their land. Not yet.